Hey, conventioNOT listeners. This is Ryan from the show. Format of today's episode is a little bit different than what you're used to. It's an excerpt from an upcoming show that we did with Dave Salmoni, a predator expert, as well as way crazy storyteller. The longer episode will be coming out soon. And this 5-minute special edition show features a guest host in Nicole, Mike's wife, as well as Wailer, his French bulldog that you already know he's completely obsessed with. So take a minute, listen to this short little show. Hopefully you're staying safe and socially distancing.
I was thinking about this today as I'm sweating. I was out for a run, and during the times that we're in, I was super excited that we were going to be talking together, because I think the one thing that we both enjoy, every time I see you, you smile. You've always got a smile on your face, and you've got such a positive outlook on life. And I was like, oh, fuck.
It's so true.
You know, and because of that's the thing that I think I remembered most when we first met, was just, he's a positive guy. He's a smiling guy. He's not the kind of guy, even if he had a crappiest day at work, I would be like, hey, Mike, how's it going? Oh, well, you know, it was a real crappy time. And I think that's certainly the types of personalities and human beings that I really adhere to and like. And you want your life. You want positive people in life. So certainly I feel the reason why we hit it off so well was just, you're always such a positive, happy guy. And those are the people you want to spend time with.
That's real sweet of you, Dave. I have very specific memory of the first time we hung out. You agreed to come over and give us some lessons with our new French bulldog puppy. And you were very clear, like, dude, I'm not a dog trainer. Like, I don't, honestly, normally I train cats, enormous ones, but I can probably come by and give you some tips. You know, so we went up to the park. We may have had a beverage or two to accompany us.
After, for sure.
Afterwards, yeah, not during the training,
work.
Of course not. Only a professional at all times. But we got some lessons from Dave, spent a couple hours with him, and I give him at least some of the credit for how amazingly well behaved our dog still is to this day.
Oh, Wailer, buddy.
This is Wailer saying hello, as is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, how are you? Hey, guys.
Oh my gosh, this is so trippy.
Wailer, how are you?
Good. Hold on. Can you? Yeah.
Yes, of course.
How are you?
I'm so excited. I got to pop in. I just finished up a meeting.
Oh, fun. Well, you're probably the last person working.
Of all times to be coming from a text-based school. We're basically just continuing on business as usual, but we have like teachers from, all over the country, sister-in-law in Italy, kind of picking our brains about virtual teaching.
Of course.
It's cool.
It's awesome. Yeah. It seems like you're right in your wheelhouse then. This is the time for you.
I'm going like so stir crazy though. I was actually thinking of guests that we can have to incorporate like movement into because I personally am going stir crazy. Luckily I have this French assistant and this sexy beast over here working from home. But just as far as like moving and engaging with others, that's been a little bit tricky. So I might have to pull out some of the old park workout moves and pick Anna McDevitt's brain as a mindfulness consultant special guest.
That's a good idea.
She's been doing some courses online. So my wife is a yoga teacher, Dave.
Oh, nice.
And so like her studio has converted completely to like online classes only. And then I think actually just last night she started doing meditation remotely with like a different group. I think like just and you know, we talked about this. We had a coronavirus episode for our listeners. The coronavirus is going on right now, which is not what this episode is about. But we talked about that pretty heavily, and like the ability to try to like maybe move mindfulness and movement more toward your home, because we become more almost like instantly become more accustomed to talking over a screen. Whereas like before this crazy ass virus thing, not all of us were so accustomed to that. There's a segment of the society that could do that, right? Like, you know, it's not necessarily young or old, although I think a lot of people think of it as like young people know how to use computers over a screen. It's not that way, but I hope that the stuff kind of turns a little bit, because there's so much movement that even if you are a patron of a trainer, you could get such better benefit from using movement actions on your own. It's a practice, right? Like exercise science is a practice.
Yeah. I think it goes to exactly when we were talking about training Wailer. I didn't really train Wailer. I trained Nicole and
you
Mike.
trained us.
Yeah, right. And I think you're right. I think that once you teach people it's a lifestyle, not a thing that you do. If it's a thing that you do, at some point you're going to stop. Whereas if you're like, okay, this is my lifestyle, and okay, I can't squat 400 pounds today, but I can go and do a bunch of jump squats at the park.
Yep.
If that becomes part of your mental health and part of your just the process in becoming having a whole day, I think,
and making it accessible.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah, and then also understanding, like you said, just because it's maybe not your favorite style of workout, there's a million different ways to keep your body healthy, and therefore you're in your brain, I think.
Absolutely. Sure. And 2 examples of this, like use what you've got, actually involve Dave's incredibly lovely wife, in that her and I used to work out at the park, and it would be like dog themed. So we just bring our dogs and schlep them around, and they're like, I don't know, 20-pound sacks of potatoes. So we would schlep them around, and we'd get our own socialization. And like Dave and our training was based off of using everyday elements and kind of mocking scenarios that he might encounter at his own job. And one example was like he was going and living with, beasts in the wilderness, pride of lions in the savannah, to be specific. I think I might be butchering lingo, but it was, I need to get away fast. So I need like a lot of help with explosive stuff. And so I remember one time we met at a baseball diamond, and he basically had to do a bunch of variations of pull-ups, because a baseball diamond in its shape has a lot of variations of grips. And so it was like running, sprinting, jumping to this height, pulling up from there, running, sprinting, jumping from this height, pulling up to there. And so it was just, this is what we're working with today. This is our playground. This is our goal, explosive and pulling,
It's so funny that you're talking about that stuff, because I just started getting back to all of it because I have no real other choice. I've been like going around trying to remember where my favorite parks are. I'm like, oh, that was a good chin-up workout there. There's some good push-up workouts here. And the problem is half these Canadians, they don't really understand social distancing. Everyone's trying, right? So they'll start off at a distance, and then they'll creep together. I brought a bunch of weights to the park, and I go to this park for quite a lot with the kids, and there's never anyone there before the quarantine started. Whereas I was there working out, trying to do a workout, and then I was watching all the dog people, and as their dogs got closer, they got closer, and then all of a sudden it was like there was 9 people in a big circle. I'm like, guys, what the hell is happening? I ended up having to leave the park because I'm like,
blowing up your spot.
Yeah, I need to be isolated. Leave me alone.
Taking over the podcast.
All right, I'm gonna dip out. Head back to work. It was so nice seeing you. Have fun, guys. Excited to hear the cuts.
No one's going to want to talk to me if they hear how
That's true.
Give me that.
We can see that Mike's coming back to the microphone now after his much better half.
Much better. I'm not, if she had a podcast, no one would ever listen to mine.
It's true. That's true. I'd still listen to you, Mike.
Me too.